this area that's, I believe, Whiskey Hill Road is where it would start. And this is a series of the topography there is undulates up and down. So there's a series of gravity sewers and force main that we will install along here that will ultimately tie into the Route 414 sanitary sewer system. Those flows would be conveyed along with all the other, the Petro, the Lago flows down 414, and that would tie into the pump stations, everything that we've talked about. So that project is currently in the planning stage with the county and the DEC. And we anticipate that, breaking ground on this one in 2017. That is all I have. Any questions on that? A lot of information.
The new burned area, they approached sewer yet?
They have, yes, actually.
They will tie, there's the town of Tyre operates a sewer district.
Right.
So there's certainly capacity within the current infrastructure to allow those flows going. So they will tap into it there's an existing sewer on 414, so they're going to tap into that location. I think that particular property kind of touches 318 and 414, but they're able to tap in right at 414.
Good presentation.
And if anyone wants to, afterwards, take a look at the pictures, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. So.
We talked about this over the years and planned it, and talked to the casino, absorbing the cost, which was good for us too. The new board members, this presentation here will bring them up to speed. I think it's very well thought out the way you did it.
And are all these, everything you presented to us is going to happen? Has been approved and is going to?
Nothing's actually been approved from a project standpoint because it's still got to go through the DEC, et cetera.
Okay.
But they're in the planning and approval process.
What timeline are we looking at?
The 414 upgrades, the timeline on that is that currently is with DEC. The design is and we are expecting approval within about 30 days. That'll be bid, so that project will actually be going in the ground this summer. They want to get that operational by the end of the year. The follow-on projects from that will be the Kingdom Road sewer. The hope is that project will be designed and ready to go out to bid next year, so that'll follow on a few months behind. And then behind that, there'll be the collection system and stormwater project. In addition to that, I think you heard Peter say that from the county standpoint, the 318 project, currently that's likely to be under construction as early as 2017. So there'll be a lot of activity between now and next year, 2017 and 18, and all these projects.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're talking about the equalization tank, and you were talking about that and how it's getting old, are you needing to replace it? Is that only used if in an emergency?
Yes.
So how many times have we had to use that since it's been installed?
Well, the tank was actually, it was a used tank, I believe it was purchased by the former village and put in sometime in the early to mid 80s. It is only used when necessary. Joe, I think it's a couple times a year. I mean, it depends on the weather, significant events.
Twice so far this year.
Okay.
We've cut the use down.
So the objective is that once the collection system and storm sewer improvements are done, there'll be less need for such a large tank. So we'll know how better to size it and then replace it. So that's the objective there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to invite all of the board members, one at a time, two at a time, to come to the plant and I can take you through the plan, the tanks, and the whole system. This way it can tie in better to what you've heard tonight.
I would suggest that all board members do that. And John and Pete O's available by phone. I know you'll have a lot of questions as time comes up. This is a pretty quick project that's moving fast. And since I've been on this board, I do sometimes wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and think about wastewater treatment plants. But I've avoided the urge to call John at that time, so.
For the new members, believe me, if you call John or Pete, you get right back to you. If you text them or email them or call them on the phone, they're right back at you, whatever questions you have. Don't be afraid to call them.
Any other questions? They'll be available after the meeting to talk.
Like this one, okay.
Okay. Okay, seeing none, I move to adjourn this meeting. That's the motion. Anyone seconds it? Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Meeting's adjourned.